it's Proud Cat Lover, and I figured because I have not done a actual video with my cats in it for a long time, like that was specifically about my cats, I figured I'd do a pet history because I realized that I started that and it just never ended, and I just forgot to make episodes for it, so I kind of feel bad. But I already did Blossom and Roxanne's, and I'll put those at the end of the video and you guys can check them out if you want to. But I realized I hadn't done Rose's yet. So I was like, okay, I probably need to. So, because I have a lot of pets and I'm wanting to try to make a video for each one. So Rose is up next and we're going to go ahead and do her while she's sitting here actually sitting still and being a cutie. So I'll start off with how I got Rose, kind of tell you some memorable moments in life that I've experienced with her and such. So I got Rose from an outdoor cat I used to have, and her name was Dipstick, and I did not name her that, but we had a neighbor next door and he liked motorcycles and cars, and back then I didn't actually know what a dipstick was, but apparently I do now. It's what you have when it sits in the oil in your vehicle or in your motorcycle. When you take it out, it pretty much shows you how much oil is in there, and you can tell by looking at if the oil's clean or not. So that's pretty much what it was. She was a white cat with a black tail, so that's why he had named her that. And so what I never really understood is he brought her home because he worked at this place where there were semis and stuff he was like one of the people that unloaded semis, and the cat was actually in the semi trailer. So somehow it had got in there, and so he brought it home, brought her home I should say, and just left her on his front porch with a water dish, no food, no nothing. And so I was like, okay, so I guess I'm going to end up feeding this cat now, because I already had an outdoor cat at the time that had just ran off. Like, there was some people down the street that had taken the cat in. So I had recently had an outdoor cat. I had some leftover food, so I put some out for her. And so yeah, I ended up adopting this cat that the neighbor had brought home and didn't really care about. Just pretty much brought her home and it was like, okay, she can fend for herself, which I don't mind that at all, but when you're dealing with an animal that was stuck on a trailer for a long time and you just bring it home and sit it outside, I was kind of like, really? So I at least wanted to, kind of help it out a little bit, and she just ended up staying at our house, and I'm kind of glad, because I would never have gotten Rose, because Rose was one of her kittens, which I actually have a picture, let me show it to you real quick, of when Rose and her siblings Duke and Twilight were young. They were adorable. Okay, so here's what they looked like when they were born. Here's Duke. He was so cute. This one here is Twilight, and then Rose here is in the middle. And then here's a picture of them here. And you can see that this one here is Twilight, this one is Rose, and this one's Duke, which you can always tell because he always had the white line going down his head. Twilight always had a whole bunch of pattern like her dad, because her dad was I guess you could call it a tiger-striped cat. Like, he was brown with black stripes, kind of like how Squeaky looks, only he, was short-haired. And then, of course, little cute Rose here. So that's what they looked like when they were kittens. They were adorable. And so Rose was the only one that I ended up keeping. There we go. Rose was the only one I ended up keeping, and I actually wasn't meaning to keep her at first. So Twilight, we actually was able to give away to somebody, and she didn't live very long because apparently the person said that the vet said that she died from stress because they moved like 3 times and they had kids and a dog. So, and then Duke went to a teenage couple that we don't know what happened to him, of course. But Rose went to my grandparents. So my grandma was jealous because my grandpa was the one that Rose liked the most, so she gave Rose back to us, and that's pretty much how I ended up with Rose. And Rose loved me from the start. Like, she was, such a mama's girl, and she still is, of course. But back then, she wasn't as bad as she is now. Now she's to the point where she walks around the house crying for me when I'm at work, according to my parents. And she, for a while, was, stressed out, I guess, because she was pulling out her hair, as some of you may remember, pulling out her fur, because we went to the vet and found out that was why she was going bald on the belly and on her legs, because she was licking all of her fur out, because she was stressed. So she stopped doing that now, which I'm glad, because I tried to give her the medicine the vet gave me to kind of relax her, and yeah, she wouldn't take it. So I was like, okay, she's just going to have to figure this out on her own. midlife crisis that she was having because she don't want to take her medicine. She's going to just have to deal with it. And I got her a cone and everything, and I think that kind of convinced her to stop because she didn't like that cone at all. But, so that was mainly, I'll tell you the other thing that, like, she's never really had to go to the vet much, but when she got spayed, she had problems, and I think, yeah, it was because the vet said that her uterus was, like, a little bit deeper in than normal, so she had to cut a little bit deeper to get in there and spay her and everything. And so she had to, you know, do several, like a couple layers of stitches instead of just one. And just, you know, to stitch it all back up because, yeah. So she had to stay in a kennel, like a really big dog kennel, for 2 weeks with like this diaper looking bandage on, because she couldn't jump. The vet said, you know, keep her from jumping and stuff just because she didn't want her to tear the, you know, sutures out. And so that was probably the most stressful time in my entire life. That was the first time I ever was depressed. And it's just because I couldn't sleep in my room anymore because, like, right here was the only spot that it could fit. So it was right next to my bed. And she would grab the blankets and pull them through, like, the kennel hole. And she'd cry and cry and cry. And, yes, you would! Yes, you would! And so I would, like, bawl my eyes out because I felt so terrible. It was my fault back then. It was my fault because I was hoping that Roxanne had problems and I was hoping that Rose wouldn't, and she did, and so I felt terrible. But yeah, Rose is a big sweetie, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Yeah, you're a big sweetie now. He's a little fluffy belly. Huh? It's a little fluffy belly. Yes. So, yeah, Rose is going to be 9 years old on August 11th. So I've been blessed to have a big sweetie of a kitty, aren't ya? Aren't you, Rose? Nope, she's not going to talk now. But yeah, she is my sweetie. She loves cuddling. She likes to lay on the pillow, as you can see, except most of the time I'm laying on the pillow with her. And she likes to, like, give me little kissies on the chin. You know, all cats, most of the time, love to go into the bathroom with their humans. And my cats think it's a family affair amongst themselves that all of the cats need to be in the bathroom when I am going. And I'm like, really? You don't need in there. It's like she stands up on her hind legs and puts her paw on my knee and, like, reaches out with her paw. Like, hey, I want to lick you. And I'm like, I'm having a moment. I'm trying to use the bathroom. And you're wanting to lick me? I don't think so. So that's anyone who has a cat that's clingy, like Rose, will know what I am talking about. She just loves to go everywhere. If I am in the shower, she's, shaking the doorknob. She's sticking her paw under the door and crying at it. And she's like, let me in. She is hilarious. So I am very blessed to have such a sweet cat, even though sometimes she's so clingy that it's just straight out annoying, right? Isn't that right? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. There will be times that I will leave her and Blossom in the room because they've just got done eating, and I'll be, out in the living room visiting with my mom or whatever, and all of a sudden you'll hear the scratching noise. Like that. And I'll walk over to the door, and Rose will be scratching the door because she wants out. And when I open the door to let her out, she just follows me right over to wherever I'm sitting down. And just sits on my lap like I'm content now. She's ridiculous. Aren't ya? Yeah, she's purring right now. She's so sweet. My dad thinks, I'll tell you some funny moments, but my dad thinks it's hilarious because Rose doesn't let anybody else hold her without complaining anyway. Yeah, she doesn't let anyone else hold her, unless the entire time you're holding her, she just, meows at you. Sometimes she'll hiss at you. She's just mad. She just sits there and complains. She doesn't actually hurt you. So my dad thinks it's funny because he'll be holding her and she'll be, all crying and everything because she's so angry that he's holding her. And you can still see the bald spots I was telling you guys about because the hair is just now starting to grow back. But she'll be crying, and I'll come up and I'll start petting her. I'll be like, oh, baby girl Rose, and I'll give her little kissies. And she'll just start purring and, everything while my dad's holding her, and he just starts laughing because he thinks it's hysterical that she can go from whining her butt off to being happy that I'm there petting her, even if she's getting held by somebody she doesn't like. So it's hilarious that she's that type. She's just hilarious. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I kind of started rambling a couple times because, you know, it's just, I have all these stories. You know, I gotta pick my favorite ones to tell you and the not so favorite ones, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video with Cutie Girl Rose. Isn't that right? I even have a little poem that I wrote for her. It's Baby Girl Rose, with a cute little black spot on your nose, and the black little toes. Because she does have black toes, see? So yeah, and she has a little spot on her nose. It's so cute. So cute. So yeah, anyway guys, thank you for watching, and have a good day. Baby Girl Rose. So can you say goodbye? Oh, thank you.